And we're live, yes. Yeah. So what? It's your boy, Bitz and Bobz. Yes, people. Happy Easter Monday. It's been a great Easter weekend for myself. I hope for you as well. Now, episode 32, Bitz and Bobz meets. We have Igbo babe in the building. We have fine girl anyhow. Fine pasha. Anyway, listen, everyone. People, your nan, your gran, your mom, your stepdad. Listen, make sure you give a big, nice, warm welcome to girl like Henrie in the building. Henrie, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. Look, happy Easter.
Happy
It's good. It's been a good, I've chopped well, I drank well. So today, this is a great way for me to just, finish Easter by with obviously being able to speak to you,
Awesome.
So thank you for coming on. Literally, thank you for coming on. How have you spent your Easter?
I've just been working the whole time. I'm not gonna lie. I've had church and stuff, but I literally have just been like working, been doing my hair. Like I've got a new look over Easter. But yeah.
So have you chopped jollof rice yet?
No. I had steamed fish actually on Saturday, and I've had like chicken, but no jollof rice as yet. I've had more Caribbean food actually.
Oh, okay. So I'm just gonna go into it, right? Your status, your profession, DJ, presenting and stuff. Like I follow you. I know a few people that love you. Shout out Beaks from Beaks Corner. My guy, like we love your work and stuff because the way we're brought up, isn't it? It's unheard of to see a Niger babe presenting, Niger babe DJing and stuff. So how did you do that, and how are you coping with that?
It's so funny because like DJ Cuppy's like been about, do you know what I mean? And I love the fact that she is like straight from Nigeria and like doing it and making waves. And there are some other like DJ and DJs actually specifically, and some presenters as well, like straight from Nigeria doing it, which is great. But I don't know, for me, it wasn't that easy, but it wasn't that hard either, because I think my parents were like, they obviously did push that agenda on me of like, oh yeah, don't you want to get like a real job? Don't you want to like do something serious? You know what I mean? Like, especially when they weren't seeing things coming in, they were like, oh yeah, like there's a job opened up at Barclays. Why don't you just like go get that? Which I really hated. You can kind of understand why I guess they would say that, because they just want the best for me. And if they can't physically see it, then how do they know that it's real, kind of thing? Do you know what I mean? I guess presenting and DJing isn't like a job that you can actually like really explain what you do until they really see it, because it's not like you get up and go to work every single day like and do a 9 to 5 like everybody else. So 100%. Yeah, it was a bit hard. Yeah, it was a bit hard in the beginning, but I think once they started to see things come through, or once like my mum can understand things like BBC and ITV, once they started to see things, they were like, okay, cool, I understand.
And you mentioned Cuppy, like big up to Cuppy as well, big Man United fan.
Yeah.
For you, yeah, like because I know you don't really talk about sports too tough, but what is if you were to pick a sport, what is your sport that you watch?
I used to actually play tennis quite a lot when I was younger. I was competing as well, I think up until like maybe age 14. And then I just gave it up because I lost a couple of matches and I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. But
so you're a sore loser.
Yeah, really bad. I wanted to be like the best, or else what was the point? Like, and I think at the time I was quite meaty anyway. Like I was actually very mediocre. So, but I was able to win some big tournaments in my life, to the point where I won a game to go see Tim Henman and Serena Williams on the same court in Wimbledon. So yeah, and I do love football as well. I dip in and out of football now. I've been really trying to get into one of the leagues. I can't really remember which one. I really wanted to get into it. I asked some of my friends to like help me, and then I just dropped out. But I do have a team that I support, etc., etc. So yeah.
And that is
Manchester United.
See, literally, you spoke Man United. You're an Igbo babe. Like seriously, what's going on here? Like what the hell? Like you've got my favorite profession. Literally, I man, like shout out to you. I salute to you. Seriously.
Thanks.
What's your quick thoughts on Manchester United right now?
I haven't been watching football, so I have no thoughts other than I hope they're doing good.
Are you influenced by Harry, your colleague?
Do you know what's funny? I've been trying to. He's who I asked actually, and somebody called Craig as well to help me get into football again, because like I dropped out for like maybe 10 years. Like if you saw me 10 years ago, I was into football like proper, and then I just forgot everybody and just didn't bother. And I asked him to like reintroduce me, and he did like a tweet like, "Oh yeah, like you guys welcome my sis Henrie to the Manchester United family." Got like 300 likes, everything, and then I just stopped watching straight after that. I really did try.
No, listen, you tried, and do you know what? The team, they're trying, Chad. Like, let me not lie to you, they're trying. We're not winning the league. However, you know, we're trying. Right. So listen, let's talk more about you. Okay, Who Be podcast, the DJ and the present and the KISS opportunity. When you were told that was going to be the opportunity, that was going to be your new role, how did you feel? Were you allowed to tell anyone at the time, or did you have to wait for a date?
Definitely. So with Spotify, the wait was a bit longer than KISS. With KISS, things just kind of happen like quite rapidly. But with Spotify, like I think I was holding on to the news for like maybe a month.
Wow.
Like, yeah, quite a long time, but it was really like cool. Like I don't know. The Spotify process was because it was like kind of slow and steady, so it didn't feel like kind of real when they told me. But KISS now was huge. Like it was definitely like big, and from time they announced, like I think I was on air like 2 weeks later. So yeah, very, very crazy.
And like, you know, obviously the plaudits, the flowers, all of that were coming in and stuff, you know. Did you think to say like, "Mommy, see, this is what I was trying to tell you"?
Like, no, do you know what? Like, my mom was starting to see like slowly but surely, because like, I don't know, with African parents, it's like you have to, or with parents that aren't specifically from this country, you kind of have to explain to them like what's going on. So like, even if they don't understand the idea of DJ and presenting, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, so what, you're working with Adidas, or you're working with Nike, or you're working with," like they do understand that. And I think once they have like a kind of name attached to it, they can like kind of be like, "All right, cool, like I kind of understand it a little bit." So I didn't have to be like, "Let's see," because like she knew that the dream was to be on broadcast eventually. So
well, I must say, like, tell mommy that I said that my sister's doing a great job. Literally, we have so many people like my inner circle. We look up to you. We think it's good. You know, and what people don't realize, Henrie, is that like what you're doing is like I said earlier, it's massive. There's a mode now where it's like, yo, black women are DJs. I know Cuppy's been doing it as well, but because I think we feel like we're closer to you, we see you, and it's just like, yeah, like, well, I can do that. And also, I love the fact that, like, you know, for the women, you know, you guys are standing on your own 2 feet here. You know, you're staying strong. You know, I love it. I love the equality and everything. Shout out to Beats Corner, Charlotte, Jeremy. What's it called? They're all saying love that. Henry's a Man United fan. Beats is Niger as well, but he's a Yoruba demon. Explaining to African parents is long, but once they understand, it's one for support from them. Literally. Now, in the pandemic, yeah, it's been tough for everyone, real talk. So, like, you obviously with work and stuff, and, you know, with your job, like, you're a people person, you like to do the, you know, your dancing and stuff, and your TikTok. And so, like, how have you found it? Like, for the whole year, literally?
The beginning of the pandemic was definitely really hard for me, because I feel like I was just starting to make something of myself. And like abruptly everything just like ground to a halt. Do you know what I mean? But then as time just went on, like continue to like pray, continue to like, I don't know, just give it to God. I was like, God, whatever you want is what I want. Do you know what I mean?
Amen.
And then even though this time has definitely been very hard for everyone, including me, like God has allowed me to find some silver linings in it. So yeah, it's been good. Like all the jobs that I've gotten so far have been in the pandemic, so very happy about it.
No, that's good. I'm happy for that, and I hope people watching, you know, take some positives from that, because it has been a long year. Everyone's had their ups and downs. You know, we've had obviously George Floyd, may rest in peace, to flipping Meghan Markle, and it's all been 12 months. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you?
Yeah.
I've got to ask though, okay, on your podcast with Harry, okay,
Yes.
I've watched him, I've watched you, yeah. I feel like you guys are like the dynamo duo, you know, like I think you guys don't realize like how much you elevate and motivate people.
Oh.
Are you guys aware of like the platform? Does it ever hit you be like, wow, we've got to come correct? Or is it just like, do you know what? I'm just being myself.
No, do you know what? It just feels really normal, really natural. Like I guess for the first show, it was like, oh crap, like we're actually doing this. But when like today, I'm in the building where I record, so I'm literally just finished recording an episode. We've got Lawrence Akoli, the boxer.
Oh, hey, and the new. Hey, Nigeria to the world. Nigeria to the world and back. What are we saying?
Yeah. And he's Igbo as well, which is great.
Come on.
It's
just
great.
For the record, guys, just for the record, that Henry is Igbo, like myself, and so is Lawrence Akoli. Last year's just confirmed. That's an exclusive right there. Just putting that out there. Right there. Henry has given an exclusive. So yeah, okay, I look for that coming out. I look forward to that coming out.
That's going to be out tomorrow. And
Sick.
I try my best to not like think about it too much because it's meant to be quite conversational. It's not meant to be like too much. So like I just think of it as normal now.
And do you know, like, I'm glad you said it normal. So like for me, yeah, I told you we spoke before. For me, like on my podcast, I had to think to myself, like, Danny, shut up. This guy's a Yoruba guy. Listen to this guy, I beg.
Oh, I listen. Anyway. I'm gonna lie. I'm a Yoruba babe at heart. I only understand Yoruba, so I'm not a devil by God's grace and mercy, but I do. I understand what it is to be Yoruba because that's like the only culture I know properly.
And do you know what? But let's quickly touch on that, isn't it? It's because like there's loads of Yoruba people. It's the main tongue that's spoken. So you know, it's not out of sorts to actually know Yoruba. Let's be honest. Like it's the main thing. I speak to Mayowa, Anita. Mayowa from Stoppage Time TV. He's mixed. He's actually the God's mix, half Igbo, half Yoruba. Anita's Yoruba. You know. So yeah, no, I get that. So no, I totally understand. But Dan, if you want to leave, man. Joyce, hey, look, Beaks is Yoruba's all the way. Then, so like with the podcasting, you try and make it conversational. And one thing I've noticed that when I do my podcasting, I try and be myself as well as make a conversation, you know. So if it's football, music, whatever, make it a conversation because it's not a debate. It's like, okay, that's your opinion. This is why I want to ask you, and you give me yourself. So I love that approach. And listen, like I say to everyone, you know, watch yourself. I say watch other people because like learn how they deliver and how they present themselves, and then you know imprint your personality on that. So like literally, another plaudit to you. Music now. We are fond of your dancing, you know, the way you move, the way you try and sing, and like you're just a vibe, like you're just happy. And thanks. I love that because, man, when you go on social media, it's always negative. It's negativity. People want to look for beef, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like if you're negative or there's something that's been said, someone trying to spin it. So is it because you're one of God's children that you're so happy? Or is it because that's you? You're just a happy person?
Of course, I'm going to say it's because I'm a child of God. Like, yeah, do you know what? If it looks like I'm happy all the time, then God is good. Like, I try my best to be happy as much as possible. With the internet, do you know what? The internet's going to be the internet. It's got its good sides. It's got its bad sides, as with everything. And I think it's just what you decide to, like, kind of focus on. Because even sometimes I do see some of the negative things. Like, I like to try to keep my timeline on Insta and on Twitter as positive as possible, so you get to choose what you take in. So yeah. And
listen, well said, literally well said. I think for myself, when you look at people who are being successful, positivity is contagious, so stay positive. And when you generate positivity, people around you just form into one way, and it's joyful. Like when I'm in Scotland now, when I speak to people say to me, Bobby, when I leave your company, I'm excited, I'm motivated, I want to go do well. And that's the vibe that you actually give off, you know? So thank you, literally, thank you. So what is your favorite song?
It's a really hard question.
Okay, so let me. Okay, this I got asked this as well, and I said the same thing, and I was like, "What do you mean your favorite song?" They're like, "Oh, what's the favorite song?" I was just like, "You need to give me the scenario. Like, am I just waking up? Am I going to the shower?"
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you a couple of different scenarios. Okay,
Yeah.
You've woken up, you need to go shower, and you're playing a jam. What's the jam?
I would like to say gospel, but if it's not gospel, then I might play Western Mama Stay.
Okay. Next scenario, okay?
Yeah.
The girls, all right, Henry, we're going out.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're like, okay, I need to get ready. So the getting ready part, what's the jam you're playing to start off the motive?
Wizkid and Burna Boy Ginger, probably.
Ginger. If you want to make a ginger to me, fuck all. Anyway, I don't know the words, but that's the song.
Not Yoruba at all. Wow.
Yeah, listen, Burna's a king, African giant. Burna Boy. Small, quick story. One of my friends, shout out Kenna, is actually one of Burna Boy's best friends.
Oh, incredible.
Like, yeah. Literally, like when we were younger and we used to hang out and stuff. When Burna Boy wasn't what he is now.
Yeah.
Like literally we'd hang. And then obviously like Chef was like, yeah, he's gonna be the next best thing, you know. Kenneth was his proper hype man, like he's gonna be the next best thing. We were like, cool. We're all studying, and this guy would then obviously what song was it that he came out with? The first banger he came out with
7, 9, 10. Better here for the girl.
Yeah, that one. And then Chef K put in the group, he's like, look, I've told you, what's this guy? And now I see him, you know, Chef's back in Lagos. So like we always see the snaps, the Insta stories and blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, wow. So yeah, so that's my little story to Burna. One day he'll shout me. And then obviously when you're in the nightclub or party or everything, and you're just chilling, drinking, whatever, that one song that you push everyone out of the way to go and dance.
Maybe Vibes Cartel Fever.
Okay. Nice to know. Moving on swiftly. Who has been, I don't know if you can answer this, your most favorite guest on your podcast?
Oh, I've actually had a few. Like some people have been really good. Julie Adenuga was incredible. Who else have we had? We've had Tion Wayne, he was really good. Digga D was really good.
Wow.
There's actually been quite a few. Miss Banks was really good.
I like that one with Miss Banks, especially when you've done the dancing as well. Yeah,
no, 100%. We've had quite a good few people. Like basically almost every single guest has been really good. So we're quite blessed on that.
Okay. And you know when you have these guests on, yeah, do you ever have the I didn't expect that moment? Or did you ever have the moment where like I've actually learned something today?
Yeah, definitely with a lot of them. With like, let's say like when Julie Adenuga comes in, like you just know Julie's like so well read, so articulate, so you know that she's gonna come with gems in it. But people definitely bring their personalities out a lot more when they come on Who We Be. For example, Unknown T was hilarious when he came in. It was like a really good viral moment. Sweetie came and gave us a really good viral moment as well. Like people have like real personalities, and I think that's what the podcast just aims to do. Basically, just like show off people's who they are outside of music and outside of whatever their normal job is.
So that's my next question to you. Who is Henrie outside these podcasts, music? You know, we see your personality, you know, like obviously there's going to be a point where you get tired and stuff and you just want to relax and stuff. But like, I mean, what do you do? Like, you know, how do you unwind? How do you like wind down and chill? Because I'm going to get to your cat very soon.
I basically, what's it called? I'm basically the same person, I'd like to think, on camera and off camera. I try not to be too different. Like, I guess when I'm at home, I'm just a lot more calmer. Like, I don't obviously talk all the time, and I'll just sit down and watch TV maybe for like 5 hours, not moving. And that's like maybe the only like big difference. But otherwise, I'd like to think that I'm kind of the same, like no matter where I am. Never doing too much, but always a smile on my face. Do you know what I mean?
No, good. It's good. And what you just said there, always a smile on my face. That's very key. One thing that I feel like that never makes me smile is the racism in this country, in the UK. And I think to myself, you know, it's tough right now, especially when you read stuff and then obviously the experiences you've had. I mean, have you had any other experiences when growing up? I know obviously London's so diverse, so it's not like you live in Scotland. But like, have you ever had it in the industry where you think, okay, cool, I know what this is, I'm just going to leave and stuff like that? You ever had any bad experiences?
I think, yeah, even though London's multicultural, don't get it wrong, like a lot of racism still happens here as well. Like my first encounter of racism properly, because it must have, I think that sometimes you have microaggressions all through your life, but then there's some things that you just never clock. But my first like proper experience of racism was when I was in year 9, I think, and then a grown man called me the N-word on the bus, which is really traumatic. And in the industry, yeah, you do get it as well. But I don't know if I've had it in the industry in London. Like I said, probably, but it's just like in microaggressions. But it definitely happened to me when I was working in the Midlands. So I used to work in Leeds, so Upper Midlands, yes. And it definitely happened like when I was working in a couple of like news stations over there. It wasn't that comfortable at all.
And how did you cope with that? What was that like? Obviously, listen, when we talk about racism, people forget that it's a traumatic scenario that we talk about verbally. So we're actually repeating it out loud. So we have to remember what happens. And when we speak to it. So like, it is trauma. And like, how did you cope?
I just knew that wasn't the industry that I was going to be in. Do you know what I mean? I felt like that I think it was the news sector. I was like, yeah, these people don't deserve me. So I'm just going to do whatever I want to do, essentially. Do you know what I mean? I think that when people, I don't understand why anyone would make anybody else want to feel like worse or bad about themselves, let alone due to race, due to anything. Like, why would you want to make someone feel small? So if I'm going to do that, I'm just like, yeah, you don't deserve me. So let me just go and do my own thing.
Bless up, Henrie. Seriously. Literally. And Henrie, obviously you're female, right? And was that tough in the industry?
I think it definitely can be. I think that when it comes to like looks, like sometimes you have to, no, not sometimes, like people definitely scrutinize your looks a lot. Being a woman, people might not take you as seriously as men. Being a woman, it means that you might not get paid as much as men. Like there's definitely a lot of things to like think about. So yeah, it can be hard, but I think I just kind of keep pushing, and whatever happens, happens.
And you know, like for people that are watching and that will watch this back, what advice would you give them? You know, the young women, not just black women, but the young women trying to break in an industry where it's not really dominated by women, or it's not known to be, not to be dominated by women. Actually,
I think just focus on yourself, focus on what you're doing. Like if you create your own niche and your own lane and you just focus on yourself and not focus on nobody else, then who can ever tell you any different about yourself? Who can even do up your prices for you? Do you know what I mean? Forget what anybody else is making. You set your own standard. Do you know what I mean? So, and the only person that you're ever in competition with is your bloody self. So I think that the most important thing, especially as a black woman as well, is just to focus on yourself. Obviously help uplift other women, other people around you. But ultimately, like, it is your life and you decide how you want to live it, I guess.
And you know, you said the uphill other women and stuff. Now, in this industry, you see a lot of elevation. You see a lot of elevating. People retweet, people comment, or people turn up to your shows or listen in, or free marketing and stuff. Have you ever struggled with that? Because me and Beats were talking, Beats from Beats Corner, we were talking and we're like, you know, we elevate each other, we retweet stuff. I watch his shows, he watches back. Like, we've got a relationship where, like, he'll watch something of mine and he'll be like, that wasn't it. You need to do better. And vice versa. So, like, how has that been for you? Like, do you have, like, an inner circle? Or do you have someone that's like, yo, you need to do better? Or someone's like, yo, that was brilliant. Keep doing you.
Yeah. I definitely have, like, management that, like, tell me, yeah, Henrie, that was really good. No, Henrie, that was trash. But in terms of like my circle, yeah, do you know what? I do have friends that I can send stuff to, and they'll like criticize where it needs to be criticized, like but not just criticize for the sake of it. What's the word again?
Constructive criticism.
Constructive criticism. That's the one, where they'll tell you exactly what needs to be done, not just saying it just to again put you down in it. So yeah, I do have like a team of, I guess, people that or a group of people that I can go to, and they'll be really helpful. So yeah.
And you know, obviously, like you engage with people from the public, you retweet or you know do promo and stuff. What's that like for you when a gentleman called Bitz and Bobz is like, oh my god, like Henrie's here, like you know, like how do you feel when knowing that like that's the buzz, that's the energy you're given?
I don't know. It makes me feel like I don't know. It doesn't feel like I don't know. The light is just like shining through on this camera, making me feel invisible. Let's see if I can move this. There we go. I'm not too sure. I just feel like I'm just me, innit? I'm just Henrie. I'm from South London. Nothing really has like for me changed in terms of myself. Like even though like I can do maybe more things now and stuff, like I don't see that much of a change in my personality. So I try not to like take it to my head. Like I try not to get it into my head that, oh yeah, like red hair, like, oh, somebody knows who you are, people are like a fan of your stuff that you do.
Yeah.
Because I just see it as day to day. If I wasn't doing what I was doing, I'd probably be friends with everybody anyway. So yeah.
And that's tough, isn't it? Like I'm like I find that, you know, this podcasting is tough. And you know, you said something like believe in yourself, you know, you're the only person in your competition is yourself. And you know, I 100% believe that, and obviously prayer is strong. Whoever was watching this, please pray. Trust me, like it's helped me and my family so much. Henrie, like you know, obviously you're gonna have to go home soon to feed your cat, which I will let you wait to go to. Henrie, like you know, when I reached out to you, did you feel some type of way? Did you think, oh, who the hell is this person, or did you think, okay, cool, like you know, let's see what he wants to do and stuff? The reason I'm asking. It's just because I say to people like, if you don't ask, you don't get. Okay, someone saying no is fine. Yeah. You know, learn how to deal with rejection. You know, I tweeted something today. I said, you know, you can have an A plan, but if that fails, there's 25 other letters. Yeah. Do you know? So yeah. So how was that for you when you got the message from me to be like, yeah, would you like to come on and stuff?
I go through my DMs, my requests, not frequently, but when I do, like I'll make sure like I do like a full on, do you know what I mean? See what everybody's saying. And it's really hard for me to say yes to everything because I know that I'm working and I know that I've got a cat, like I've got responsibilities. But I saw it and I was like,
why are you talking like the cat is your child? I know it's your baby.
That's my firstborn son, for real. But yeah, like 100%. Like I'm always working all the time, so sometimes it's definitely hard for me to say yes. But I don't know. I think when I can say yes, I definitely do. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't really see it as like anything. I just see people want to get involved and want me to be a part of what they're doing, and they're starting something and want to be able to elevate their own brand. And if, do you know what I mean? By God's grace and mercy, like God's put me in this position for a reason. So if I can, what I'm doing to be able to help them, then especially if I can at some point, then why not? Not that I can all the time. I'm not going to lie. Like sometimes I definitely don't reply because I can't reply to every single person.
100%.
When I can, then I definitely do.
No, literally, God bless. And like, I'm very grateful, you know, I say pick people, but you know, it would be nice to hear someone who I do like, follow, and think like, wow, you know, they're doing really brilliant. It would be nice to just pick their brains a little bit, you know, just to see what they are. And like, to be honest, like Niger excellence, like seriously. So to be honest, there's always a magnet towards it. And do you feel like before I go into your cat, do you feel when you do meet other Nigerians, you there's like a slight magnet towards them just because of the culture?
You know what? I'm half Nigerian and half Sierra Leonean, and I feel like whenever I Nigerians, they always forget that I'm half something else as well, which makes me laugh. But yeah, like I love Nigerians. I love their charisma. I love the fact that more time they're funny. I love the fact that more time they're confident. And it makes me feel like I'm a part of a community, even with Sierra Leoneans as well. Like Sierra Leoneans, they make me feel a big part of their community, even though like I don't really know that much about it, like even down to the language, you know what I mean? Like I'm not that close with my Sierra Leonean family. I've got one aunt that I talk to a lot who has a really thick Salone accent.
Okay.
But otherwise, like, do you know what I mean? I'm more, especially again in London, there's loads of Nigerians here. So yeah, like I feel like I'm a part of a community, and I think that's great.
Good. Okay, so last but not least, your newborn.
Yes.
If I can say that.
4 months old now, so he's not so much a newborn anymore.
Okay. So yeah, 4 months old. The cat. Would you please tell everyone the cat's name?
His name is Ashley Oluwafumilayo Kushwe.
Ash for short.
Yeah, absolutely.
So why? Like, because for me,
yeah,
in my household growing up, pets, you're crazy. Like, it's not possible. Like, my mom would probably say it's another mouth to feed. Like, I'm not doing it. Do you know what I mean? So why for you?
I'm more of actually a dog person, to be honest. But cats, you can leave them at home for a little bit and then go in and feed them and then come back out. And when I saw him, I was like, yeah, this is the cat that I need in my life. Like, he's so cute. And he gives me like Nigerian vibes anyway. Like his middle name's Oluwafumilayo, which means God give me joy. So he definitely gives me a Yoruba man kind of vibes, where like he's there for all the jokes, fun, and all the games. But when he wants to be stush, he'll be very stush.
Great advert. And yeah, I mean, also obviously, what's the rest of the plans for today? When you go home, feed your cat, you know, I mean, are you working again or?
It doesn't stop. So I've got no signal. So I work for a black radio station, which is black from the CEO all the way down to the producer.
Wow.
Or all the producers even, called No Signal. And they're doing their 1 year anniversary today. So I'm going to be on my way to Tottenham at some point. Hey, I'm going to be DJing for them. And I think I'm going to be probably presenting as well.
Oh, sick. And listen, I mean, you know, I always ask this of some people when they come on and stuff. I go sit to them, you know, is that when the people that interview you or have a chat with you, did you ever think you'd be asking the questions?
As in when it's like this?
Yeah. Like, so when you're being asked a question, do you feel like, okay, I'll answer it. Is that a good answer? Was that okay? Do you ever think like that? Thinking
all the time, and I have to like make sure this is like being on the other foot is really weird because you have to make sure that you're saying the right things as well. You don't want to come off like, you don't want things to be misinterpreted. You don't want to sound like an idiot. And so I understand now how artists and everybody else feels like you really do have to like think about what you're saying before you come out and say it.
100%. And do you know what? Like I think to myself, what am I good at? I'm good at hosting, presenting. So let's keep it at that. Like when people ask me to come on their shows, I don't mind. I'm like, yeah, I'll say my bit. But I always play, I'm like, was that okay? You know, did I say no? So I think to myself, I know how to conduct a conversation, how to like ask and present stuff. So I just try and work on my craft on that. So any questions you'd like to ask me before we wrap up?
Have you had a good day today?
Do you know what? I woke up and as the sun was shining, my son was laughing. Yeah, 100%. And you know, literally, like, it's funny, isn't it? You know, the simplest things ever, are the most joyful ones. Literally, like, you know, I just left a football YouTube team, and you know, like, no qualms, no nothing, you know, and you know. It's a bit of a big deal because they are a bit of a big deal. But like for me, there's no regrets or nothing. I'm happy. Do you know what I mean? And like I believe in myself. You know, I have a career. I'm at uni as well. Got a family. So like, yeah, I'm happy. It's Easter, isn't it? Like to me, Easter's like your family come around, your cousins. You know, you're cracking jokes. You eat till you can't breathe. You know, then you do it all over again. So yeah. And obviously it's a bank holiday, man. So come on, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean? But listen, Henry, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Literally.
As well, so lovely.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. You cut out there. Sorry.
To everybody that's listened as well. So nice to have people joined in.
Yeah, no, literally, like this YouTube podcasting world, man. I've only been on since November. I'm learning every day, but like, no, like there's a nice, very, very nice. Let's just say there's very nice people I've met, and I'm still in touch with them. Bitz, for example, who's now my best friend. We physically haven't actually met because of the pandemic, but we're texting, calling, checking on each other and stuff. But like seriously, thank you for coming on. Thank you to everyone in the cut. That was another episode of Bitz and Bobz Meets. I must say I thoroughly enjoyed this.
Thank you.
And this has, with this, I'm gonna use this as motivation to have a good week. 100%. Everyone in the cut, please have a nice week and have a great Easter Monday. Peace and love to you all.
Bye.